What is up, YouTube? This is Soul64 here, and I am bringing you my second Wi-Fi battle. This battle was pretty good against a rain team, but there's one Pokemon in there that pretty much dealt with it. So yeah, let's get this battle started. This is against Tay from the AAX chat. You may have heard of it. He leads off with a Politoed, and I go with my Natori yet again. He goes for an Ice Beam, doesn't really do much. And I go for my Stealth Rocks, which is good because Stealth Rocks is nice. Get my leftovers recovery, and then he switches up because he's asking me to do much, and he's not leases. Yeah, I'm gonna lease it at this turn. Now he switches into his Conqueror or Rebushin, whichever you want to call it. Leave a comment down there if which name you like out of the three. So yeah, I lease his Rebushin. Um, yep, get some leftovers recovery. And like it takes me up to around full health, which is good. Now switch up my Natori, go into my Desicon, which is the counter to pretty much any fighting type that I want to come across, and I wanted to test it out because I like Desicon. It's really funny, its animation is nice, its defense is nice, its design is just nice, everything's about it's nice. I know other people would use Dustclops, but anyway, he goes for a Bulk Up, and I go for Lewis, I miss, and I was leaning left to right thinking, is that bad, was that good? Because it would have been nice to burn it, but then again there's guts, so I'm like, yeah. Okay, he goes for Stone Edge, does about a little bit over a third. I'll go for the Power Share. Now what the Power Share does is that it's a bit like Pain Split. It adds up his attack stat and my attack stat, and then divides it by 2. So say if he had 200 attack and I had 16 attack, that would be added, then that'll be divided. So yeah, seeing as I've pretty much put his attack down, he wants to get the hour there. He goes into his Jolteon. I go for the Haze, just in case if he stayed in and bogged up even further. I don't take Thunders to the face since he's in the rain, so I'm gonna switch out back to my Natori. He goes for the Shadow Ball, and I take it pretty nice. I take it really well, but I get the special defense drop, which is like, oh great. So now he goes for the Hidden Power Grass. He probably thought it was ice. I thought it was ice, but apparently it was grass. And I go for the Power Whip. It does like what 95%. It's nearly an Oko. I don't know if that's min or max damage. Probably min. And he goes for the Thunder. Now it does about a third because of my special defense drop. And I go for the Gyro Ball, not wanting to miss, and I take him out. So now he goes into his Rebushin, wanting to Drain Punch me. I don't want that, so I'm gonna go back into my Desicon, but he predicts that nicely and goes for a Stone Edge, and it does yet around a third. I think that's about 101 damage. Yep, 101 damage. Get my leftovers recovery. Now he goes for a Stone Edge again. He misses, and I go for my Shadow Ball, and it does a fairly good amount. Get the special defense drop on my side, which is good. Now he doesn't want to stay in there because the special defense drop, and since he hasn't got any bulk ups, he isn't going to be doing anything. So he wants to get the hell out there, and he goes into his own Natori now, which he probably should have done beforehand. I go for my Rulerist, but I freaking miss, which is like, why you had to miss? But it doesn't really matter because I'm going to stay in and I'm going to Rulerist again, which is good. And it hits this time, so that's great. He goes for his spikes. I'm like, oh crap, spikes. I don't like flying types that much because of Stealth Rocks and all that, so that makes me skeptical to spikes, and I don't like spikes. So I want to get out there before he laid up his second layer. I go into my SB Wall, which is the Magic Mirror Espeon. He goes for Leech Seed, which I wasn't expecting, but it doesn't really matter because because of Espeon's ability. He switches out, fearing the HP Fire. Even if I did use HP Fire, then it wouldn't have done much because of the rain. But anyway, I don't use HP Fire. I go for the Light Screen. In fact, I don't even have HP Fire. Now I go back into my Umbreon because Umbreon and Espeon are a great pair on any team if you know how to use it. He goes for a Hydro Pump. Now this pretty much told me that he was scarfed because that Hydro Pump did absolute jack. And yes, I am a careful nature, so yeah, he goes out into his Nature. I'm gonna try and toxic the Polito, but he switched down to this, so that ain't going anywhere. Now, thinking that I'm gonna switch out, he's gonna lay his spikes, but I'm going to taunt him because I don't think anyone would expect taunt on Umbreon, and he definitely did not expect it. So now his Nature isn't gonna do anything, and since he can't do much because he's burnt, he's gonna want to get the hell out of there, go back into his Rebootion. I predict the switch out, stay in, and I go for my Toxic, and he hits, which is good. But then again, now I have to worry about the Guts boost. So I'm gonna get out there very soon after he gets his leftover recovery and gets residual damage by poison. I switch out, go into my Desicon, wanting to avoid the Drain Punch should he do it because he is at around 50%. But he predicts that switch again, goes for the Stone Edge, does more now because of the Guts boost, and I'm like, oh dear, am I gonna live this next one? Hopefully I should, because Desicon is a freaking monster. Even if he is calm nature and if he's trained in special defense, he still has enough defense to take that second Stone Edge, which he does. And I live on 6 HP. Get off my last Shadow Ball. My last stand Shadow Ball. Yeah, it does a fairly good amount. Enough for that poison to kick in even more. And the fact that I'm still living means that he is forced to go for the Stone Edge again, take out my Desicon, and sadly I go faint, but thank you Desicon, you've done your job. You've managed to secure your position on that team for taking out a fighting type such as Rebootion. He goes down due to poison, my Mask Screen wears off. He goes into his Politoed, and I go into my Nato because pretty much the rest of his team is water. So he goes for the Hydro Pump, does around, let's see, 82, which is, this is alright. I'll go to Power Up, Oko that frog, and knock him the frick out, which is nice. Now I won't have to worry about him Hydro Pumping my pokes all the time. Now he goes into his Kindra. I'm thinking he's gonna go for the Sub, but he hasn't got Sub. He goes for the Surf. If you had Hydro Pump, you definitely would have knocked me out, and that probably would have caused a problem. Because now I'm able to live, get that Power Whip off, do about 50% to him, and I get my HP up to 69 because of the leftovers. 69. I know how you guys like 69 this, 69 this. Anyway, enough about the 69. 64. Could you get it? So 64 and all that. No, bad joke. He knocks me out with a second Surf. Takes me out. I go into my Gyarados. He goes for an Ice Beam. I take it very well. Get my Earthquake off, and I take that Kindra out. I get my leftovers recovery because this is a semi-bulky Gyarados. Got Mass Attack and all that. Now he goes into his Nature. I taunt him because I don't want him setting up Leech Seed to get his HP back. But he goes for a Power Whip and it misses. I'm like, nah. He's burnt. Isn't going to do much. Leftovers isn't. You know, in the long run, it isn't really going to matter because he's burnt and I have leftovers. So now that he's taunted, he can't least see me, so I'm safe to go for my first Dragon Dance to get my attack and my speed up. Good for Power Whip. Doesn't really do much because he is burnt. And I get my HP up again. And he gets his HP up as well. He's going to get kicked by some burn. Now I go for my second Dragon Dance because I want to get as powerful as I can to get rid of his Nature and his last Pokemon, which I won't say yet in case you forgot, because you know you listen to my Pokemon, his Pokemon for like a split second at the beginning of the video. Yeah, so with all that going around, his rage has subsided, which means he's free to Leech Seed. I don't want to go greedy and taunt him or DD again, so I'm going to go for the Earthquake, as I am powerful enough to take him out, which I do. Get my leftovers, and he goes into his last Pokemon, which is the Manaphy, and takes the frog damage. Now I go for an Earthquake. I am +2, and this does what, 50%? And I'm like, wait, I'm very sure I could have done more damage. I know I'm not Life Orb, but still. He goes for an Energy Ball, does a crit, and I'm like, because I don't like crits. Crits sting like a bee. It's really, you know. I go for a quick end, hoping to take him out, but because of that leftovers, it isn't a 2-hit KO. It is a 3-hit KO, even with Stealth Rocks. That just shows how beastly Manaphy is. He probably should have rested there. I'm not sure if he did have rest, but you know, because I haven't taunted it. So he probably didn't do rest because he probably thought I was gonna taunt him then. But I don't. I take him out with the earthquake, and that is good game. So that is it. I'll come back with my third wiper battle. Comment, like, subscribe, and I'll get back to you very soon. Peace out.